Mabuhay, this is Bob from Love Beyond the Sea. Another comment about incels today. I made a video called How I Avoided Becoming a Crazed Incel by Marrying a Filipina, and somebody today left me the comment, incel is also used to shame passport brothers, passport bros. Be careful. So that's what I want to talk about today here on Love Beyond the Sea. I married a woman from the Philippines back in 2015, so 8.5 years. I guess you could call me an incel at that time. I wasn't able to find a woman for so long and hadn't seriously considered the Philippines, but I did, and I quickly got married and am still married. So I responded to him, thank you. I can see how that could be. It's unfortunate people say that because men are only expanding their search. So on this idea of incels, which means involuntarily celibate, and passport bros, I want to talk about that here today. Leave a comment if any of this resonates with you. Let me add to this by reading an article, part of it here called, I think they're being sarcastic, it's from goodmenproject.com. Somebody named Jesse Anthony wrote it. I don't know if that's a female name, probably by the way it's spelled. We need more passport bros to leave America. It might fix the toxic male culture. Here's what they say. The MGTOW, men going their own way, movement has caused controversy in dating culture as anti-feminist men express interest in leaving Western countries for third world countries in search of traditional women. First of all, there's nothing wrong with a man looking to a third world country in search of a traditional woman. He has to find somewhere on earth to find someone like this. Anti-feminist, nothing wrong with that either as far as I'm concerned. I think feminism does not exactly make for a desirable marriage partner. Continuing here, they say this group of men leaving Western countries with higher living standards to countries with lower living standards are called the passport bros. Passport bros are seeking, in their opinion, greener pastures in less developed countries. They believe the economy of these third world countries is better than that of the United States, and that the women overseas are less judgmental than westernized women and have more traditional values too. Okay, I am in agreement with that. Many of the passport bros from Western countries like the United States and the UK feel that the women of their country have been heavily influenced by feminism, which doesn't make them suitable to be domesticated wives. Can't argue with that necessarily. In truth, they say these men are intentionally seeking women they can control and exercise their manliness. Now that's where I disagree. I think they're most likely just looking for somebody they can have a good marriage with. The man who initiated the Passport Bros movement, Austin Hollerman, says women in these poor countries are more agreeable and manageable, which is why they are the perfect fit for those looking for free sex and traditional wives. Well, if you've been married to a woman from the Philippines, you might not agree with the agreeable and manageable part. I think women are women, and getting along, in a relationship with a husband should be the chief decision maker. That can lead to some disputing. In his words, Brazilian women are easy to get, and this raised an eyebrow by various government authorities and the locals. He got death threats from angry Brazilian men because of the way he degraded their women, and the news media called the embassy tried to deport him. He ran out of Brazil before they got to him. However, the same guy is advising American men that not all women in these poor countries will be interested in them. Okay, I would agree with that. Many guys have gone out there thinking that once they get off the plane, they're going to be a hot item, and they find out That's not necessarily true, and it kind of depends on the woman. They say, to be fair, the idea that men from Western countries go to poorer countries to find a wife is nothing new. That's true. It has been going on for decades. However, the recent trend of passport bros has a sadistic agenda for migrating to poorer countries. The problem, they say, with passport bros is that these men fit into the incel culture of men who believe women owe them sex and submission. This is why most people criticize the passport bros movement, because it is a sex tourism and sex trafficking agenda by incels. Well, look, I don't agree with that. I didn't have sex with my wife before we got married, but we got married very, very quickly. Sex tourism, well, I think, and men are always looking for easy sex anywhere, but a lot of men are going to places like the Philippines to find a good wife, somebody that can get along with them, that won't compete with them, that will be a good counterpart to them. So, I don't know, sounds like somebody here is against men going where they're wanted to try to find what they need. Basically, they say the whole concept of passport bros is about Western men, not just blacks, that believe women from third world countries are better wives and sex slaves. No. And compared to Western women because they assume that these women are desperate and poor. These men are a handful of insecure fellas who feel they are not valued by Western women. They probably aren't. Who are more independent than women and exercise their right in deciding what they want in a partner and what they can do with their bodies. Well, they can do whatever they want, and the man is just he's gonna give them that right, and he's gonna exercise his right to go somewhere else to look for a wife. So I honestly don't understand. I think the insecure ones here would be the women who feel like they can tell a man where he can and cannot look for a wife. You only have so long to live in your one life. There's only so many people in the world, so many women that can speak your language, and you can find a wife like I did in another country. There's no reason to feel bad about it. And these terms like passport bros, which didn't sound bad to me, but in reading this and its connection with incel makes it sound like a diabolical thing. I think it's just somebody trying to find a wife somewhere. So again, there's all kinds of pushback by women to men who just simply say, I don't need this, I can do better, I'm going to try to do better, look somewhere else for a wife like I did. It worked out for me. It doesn't work out for everybody, but you can learn from the mistakes those people make and not do those things yourself. Don't give money to somebody right away. Don't fall for I love you. Don't fall for, a woman showing a lot of skin in her photos. I said before, look for character, look for integrity. There's a lot of women there that make a good wife. They don't feel their options are very good there. In some of these countries, there's a lot of cheating, unfaithfulness. There's a lot of, poverty, and she's just looking, she's probably getting criticized too for looking for a Western man, and she has to deal with that. Men get criticized for looking overseas. They have to deal with that. You have to be sure about what you're doing, or else you will let all this background noise talk get to you. And that might prevent you from finding love beyond the sea.